They came from the darkest void, a cosmic horror tearing through our solar system. The Anatron invasion fleet, a swarm of biomechanical nightmares. Their ships blotted out the stars over our greatest cities. World governments threw everything they had at them, a desperate global resistance. Our most advanced laser weapons, our kinetic cannons, all useless. Their energy shields were impenetrable, a shimmering wall against our fury. Panic turned to despair as city after city fell into silence. Humanity was on the brink of extinction, a footnote in some forgotten galactic history. But they made one fatal mistake. They chose to establish their main command base in the driest, most ancient land on Earth. They chose Egypt. They saw the pyramids as nothing more than primitive geometry, perfect for their energy grid. They didn't know what lay sleeping beneath the sands. They didn't understand the ancient technology, the lost science of the Pharaohs. Down in the secret chambers, far below the Giza Plateau, the old magic stirred. Not magic, but a science so advanced it looked like mysticism to the uninitiated. The priests of Amun-Ra, guardians of a forgotten knowledge, began the ritual. They weren't chanting spells, they were activating a bio-resurrection protocol. Mummification wasn't about preserving the dead for a spiritual afterlife. It was a military contingency plan, a way to create the ultimate soldier, a warrior who could not be killed because he was already dead. The sacred oils and linens weren't for burial rites. They were imbued with nanopolymers, designed to reinforce organic tissue beyond its limits. The canopig jars didn't just hold organs, they were quantum storage units, preserving the combat consciousness of the greatest warriors in history. The Anatron invaders drilled deep, their energy beams slicing through millennia of rock. They broke into the first tomb, the tomb of the unyielding. Their laser rifles, which had melted tank armor, flashed against the sarcophagus. The beams just dissipated, absorbed by the hieroglyphs. Those weren't just decorations, they were energy-dampening circuits. The lid of the stone coffin slid open with a grinding sound that echoed with ancient power. A hand, wrapped in linen thousands of years old, gripped the edge. The first of the Magi, the Pharaoh's elite guard, rose. His eyes glowed with a cold blue light, the consciousness of a warrior king downloaded into its vessel. The Anatron soldiers opened fire, a storm of plasma and light. The bolts hit the mummified warrior and did nothing, absolutely nothing. The linen wrappings, treated with secrets lost to time, were immune to their advanced weaponry. The warrior moved with unnatural speed, a blur of ancient cloth and righteous fury. He wielded a kopish, a sickle sword of an unknown alloy, humming with energy. It sliced through the Anatron's armor as if it were paper. Panic erupted in the Anatron ranks for the first time since they left their home world. Their comms channels flooded with screams, with reports of an enemy that could not be harmed. And he was not alone. Across the Valley of the Kings, a silent alarm had been triggered. The terracotta army of the now, the legions of Anubis, began to stir. An entire army of the dead rising from their eternal slumber. Each one a hero from Egypt's golden age. Their skills perfectly preserved. Charioteers, archers, infantry, a legion of silent, unstoppable guardians. They poured out of the hidden tombs, a tide of mummified warriors. They were a Pharaoh's fury made manifest. The invaders, who had conquered star systems, were terrified. Their futuristic weapons were useless against this ancient, relentless force. The mummified soldiers fought with the discipline of a professional army and the ferocity of gods. They were the ultimate defense, a secret weapon hidden in plain sight for 3,000 years. The battle for Earth was no longer being fought with starships and lasers. It was being fought in the sands of Egypt by an army of the dead. The Anatron commander watched from his command ship, his 3 eyes wide with disbelief. He saw his elite soldiers, beings who had walked on neutron stars, being torn apart by warriors from a primitive age. He saw chariots pulled by skeletal horses outmaneuvering his anti-gravity tanks. He saw arrows tipped with some unknown element piercing their impenetrable shields. This wasn't a battle, it was a reckoning. The Pharaohs had foreseen a threat from the stars, a prophecy of a cosmic enemy. They didn't build tombs to honor their dead kings, they built armories. They didn't create mummies to preserve bodies, they built super soldiers. The knowledge of the ancients, a power beyond alien comprehension, had been unleashed. The army of Anubis, the undying legion, was reclaiming their sacred land. They fought not for glory or for gold, but for the very soul of their world. The sands of the desert drink the strange glowing blood of the invaders. The pyramids, once thought to be tombs, now pulsed with a power that shook the heavens. The Anatron fleet, the terror of the galaxy, began to fall back. They had faced down black holes and supernova shock waves, but they had never faced an enemy that refused to die. They had never faced the resurrected wrath of the Pharaohs. The tide had turned, not by a new invention, but by the oldest one of all, the undying will of a people to protect their home. And here our story ends. I'll see you again.